Woodshop 101.
Oh, hi there. We are making our trash can for the new bathroom last night. This is one of the sides to the trash can. And we decided today we're going to make some inlays for the trash can. A shamrock and a rose. And we'll have one of each on each panel. So I'll be using a Delta Q3 saw, which they discontinued years ago. It's an awesome saw. I don't know why they discontinued it. It's like a commercial grade unit in between the toys and the industrial stuff. It provided a nice fill with the niche. In fact, when I went to buy this, they had discontinued it like a month or two before I made my decision. And the people I used to deal with, Scary in Baltimore, they're not there now. Went and found one for me on a competitor's shelf. So that was nice of them. Gave me a good price, and I've been very happy with this unit ever since. Never a minute's problem. So, time to use it. Cut out some inlays. So, with the new bathroom, we're going to have to accessorize pieces out for a wastebasket. I have some Madrona, which will be the sides. I'll have to resaw these on the bandsaw so we get 4 sides instead of 2. And since the bathroom has a purple theme going on, we have to use purple heart. I'm going to cut some strips that will become the corners that will hold the Madrona sides together. And I'm undecided whether to use it on the top or not. I may use a different kind of wood, such as walnut. I'll probably go with the purple heart. It all depends on what I wind up with when I cut. However, this will need to be processed. It needs to be run through the planer. We have a reasonably good edge. I may be able to use the table saw just to skim it so it's nice and straight. Normally, yeah, I think we can do that. Normally we might need our joiner for that if it's way out of whack, but this board looks pretty close. So we'll have to cut it up on different saws and plane it down and basically collect our pieces for the trash can. So, onward. So we've cut out all the pieces to the trash can for the new bathroom. These are the corners. They've been dated to receive the sides, and we've made some tops so they'll go together like that. And this will be the very bottom, and I've got to chisel out little daydays or rabbits to receive that. And then I'll probably have to go back and cut a little corner out of these so it all fits together. So, time to start banging away. Actually, I'm going to saw some of this instead of banging through this hardwood. So, I was going to chisel this out, but this Purple Heart's very hard. So then I thought to myself, you know, it would be easier if I cut it, but the saw's still a little bit big, even though this is a little saw. So now, it's a job for the fine multi-master. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, so we have our inlays carved out, and we're ready for the next step, which is each side of the trash can will be carved out to receive the inlays that will go in. So how we do that is we pull out our trusty trim router, a Freud FT1000E. That's right, you've seen it before. It's awesome. Usually the go-to trim router is the Porter cable setup. I tried that once, and the Freud's, I liked it much better. The plunge base on it is just like a bigger router. It's awesome. This plunge base stays on here most of the time. So, and I've put in a carbide, solid carbide downdraft bit to do the carving we're going to do. So, what I did was I traced out the shamrock. I had to use a razor blade because it's very fine, and it just couldn't get the pencil down in there, so I carved it with a razor and then put the pencil mark on there so I could see it, because I can't see the razor cut. So we're just about ready to start. I'm going to clamp it down using some bench dogs, and then start a-cutting. So let me tap this down and secure it. So, the next step's done. We have the inlay area in the workpiece roughed out. Now you'll notice you'll see pencil lines there. I cut inside the pencil line, which means it's a little small. That's for custom fitting. The rest has to be done by hand with either a small chisel, or in some cases, in this particular instance, I may have to use a razor because some of the areas are very fine. So that part is kind of time consuming and tedious, but eventually we'll get it to fit in there perfectly and we'll have our inlay. So, time to start carving out some itty bitty pieces of wood. So we've cut our inlay out and we've carved out where it's going to go in the board. These are kind of delicate, so I went through a couple of tools before I found the right one, which wound up being the good old Dremel. So now we're ready to glue this in. I'm just going to put a little glue in there. The inlay's done on the waste basket, and they've been sanded. Everything's been sanded. They all have a final sanding, so I've dry fit it. I've got a picture I can pop up later, and we're going to use Watco's Danish oil and then put some shellac on it so you can see the difference. I've done one piece already just to check it out. It really makes the grain pop. And the Purple Heart. So I'll be rubbing in some Danish oil into the pieces, and I'll let that sit probably overnight, let it soak in and dry. It is oil based, and then we'll come back tomorrow and start applying a few coats of shellac, make it nice and pretty and shiny and beautiful for my beloved bride, for her beautiful bathroom that has been mandated. It sands very nicely. And it cuts well. So it's a nice wood to work with. Apply some pressure so I can square everything up. And I'm going to turn it upside down to do that. That way my top will be nice and flat and all the pieces will be on one plane.